Good evening, everyone. I'm meteorologist Jacob Dickey. The time now is 8 o'clock on this Saturday night. We're here for a weather update with the snow coming through as well as some Arctic cold air that is settling on into the region here in central Illinois. Before we get too much started, I want to cover a couple of housekeeping rules or whatnot. Take care of some business first off. We're going to talk about the many rounds of snow coming. We got a lot of these small, quick-hitting rounds of snow over the next 7 days. Some dangerous cold also is on the way. There doesn't really seem to be an end in sight, at least for the next couple of weeks with this pattern settling on. We'll talk about all of that and more. Just some reminders, though. Be sure you have the WCIA 3 weather app. You can download that and get the latest forecast information. And then in addition, we'll be live again tonight at 9 and 10, then tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Of course, the Super Bowl, the big game, is on CBS, so you can watch it there. And then Chief Meteorologist Kevin Lyon will be back tomorrow night. This segment now we're doing is our Sunday night at 8 o'clock segment normally. We're doing it a day early because of the big game tomorrow, and it works great with the snow that we're seeing in central Illinois. Here's what we're looking at. We're going to start and talk about the snow that's happening now. Then we'll touch on more rounds of snow in the days to come. And then we'll end on the cold weather. And I really think you'll want to stay here for all of it. If you can let me know in the comments where you're watching from at the end, we'll also look at any questions. And I'm also looking for some measured snow reports out there. We've gotten a couple of those we'll hit on here in just a second. That's what we got for you. And then finally, if you want to hit share, we'd love that to get as many folks on here as we can, getting them the updates for the weather, especially with this snow coming on in here tonight. Here's what we're looking at right now in Neal Street. Seeing some of that snow there. It is a powdery snow. It was coming down pretty heavy earlier and continues to do so here. We'll take a quick sky cam tour at some of our areas. There's a look in Charleston right now, the snow coming on down. Much the same as well in Danville. I think the snow there is still coming down at a pretty good pace as we look over downtown. The snow's starting to taper off a little bit to the west here. Not as much snow falling in Decatur, still some snow there. Same for Gibson City. We've got some snow on the board there on the ground, making it down. And how about we check in Mattoon, and we'll get Pontiac and Springfield and Champaign after that. There you go, seeing that dusting to an inch falling in Mattoon right now. And up in Pontiac's been getting a little bit more than some of us others in central Illinois, especially to the north and west of there. Springfield, the snow is let up pretty well. There's still some flurries flying, but we're wrapping things up with this initial round. And then, of course, in Champaign, we've been getting that snow. The roads are covered and a bit slick out there. As we go through the evening, we can see the same as we look Campus Town here off to the east of the TV station. So the snow is falling. Let's talk about where it's falling right now. First off, that winter weather advisory goes until midnight tonight for most of the area. Roads are slick as that snow falls, and we expect it to do so through a couple of more hours here. As we take a look here at the Storm Tracker Doppler, you'll notice that earlier heavier band is pushing on into Vermilion and Edgar County, even down towards Tuscola, Charleston, and points to the south and east there. Some drier air working in on the backside is eating away at that snow. So while we've gotten some good accumulation rates, it's only lasted a couple of hours, and that's why our forecast for 1 to 3 inches, more 1 to 2 inch range than 2 to 3 inch range being expected, has pretty much verified so far across the area, getting at least up to an inch in most spots here. So we'll continue to watch this snow push on out here. I'll take a look down more to the south and west towards Taylorville and Shelbyville. Some of that snow there now working its way out of Springfield and down to the south and to the east. While we're talking about this snow here, we've already got our eyes on the next system here. A very typical pattern when we deal with these Arctic air masses is around them. You get these quick clippers. This one rolls on through, gave us a quick round of snow. The next one is on the way that will start to give us snow again as we head into our Sunday evening out there. And they'll keep rolling on through at a pretty rapid pace here, about an average of 1 a day of these quick clipper systems of what it looks like. So we're watching the quick clipper systems here. The one thing that's happening too is all of this Arctic air that is sneaking on in, and that's something that we're going to be watching already. Pontiac down to 9. It's 18 in Champaign, 24 in Effingham. Those temperatures are dropping pretty rapidly as winds pick up out of the north and west this evening. And that means wind chill values right now down below 0 in some spots. It's -4 what it feels like in Bloomington, -6 in Pontiac, 6 in Champaign. Because the air is so cold, all of the snow has a chance to stick. We don't have to worry about anything melting. It is sticking, but it is also a very powdery snow. When we have cold air like this, you don't get that heavy wet snow. You get that powdery snow that really causes some travel concerns. And that's what we've been seeing, especially with those winds. Yes, they're dropping wind chill values, but we've seen reduced visibility in parts of the region as far as it goes. So that's what we've been watching here. The snow will be wrapping up tonight by about midnight. This quick round with the reduced visibility here in central Illinois, those wind chill valleys. Again, we're going to cover more on that here in a bit as far as it goes. So let's talk how much snow we expected in this round today, 1 to 3 inches. We've gotten a couple of reports. Springfield is coming in at an inch as of recent. We've got 1 to 2 up in Peoria, 2 to 3 up in Knox and Marshall counties off to the north and west. I've seen a few reports coming in the comments of some folks saying 3/4 of an inch to an inch, some folks saying a dusting. It's a very powdery snow, so it's blowing around fairly easy too, compared to a heavy wet snow which will sit there and easier to measure, and that's why we've seen some of those reduced visibilities out there. Another quick round comes in as we go into tomorrow and tomorrow night. I think it may drop 1 to 2 inches along and north of I-72, lesser amounts to the south. We'll watch it closely. And we may keep snow all the way in Sunday night through the day on Monday. Monday we'll have the better chance to add another 1 to 3 inches in parts of central Illinois. With these quick clipper systems, you don't get big time snow totals out of them. You get an inch or two here and there. But when you have several of them back to back, that's when things can start to add up. By the time we get through Monday night, early Tuesday morning, we may have some areas that end up having 2, 3, 4, even 5 inches of snow on the ground. Happened in 3 or 4 different rounds here as we see these bursts of snow coming on in. And that's about what we will expect here with these little clipper systems moving on through. Yes, there's a round Monday into Monday night. Tuesday, probably just flurries, but then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, even Saturday night, all have the chance for more of these quick clipper systems rolling on through, bringing more additional accumulation into parts of central Illinois. Here's what we're looking at. The snow potential, when you add it up over time, we start to get a little higher in the chart over 1 week. A little here, a little there, a little there, a little everywhere. And we just add that up, and it seems like we'll get these rounds of snow. By the time we get to next Saturday, I don't think it's out of the question that we'll have 6 to 12 inches of snow on the ground that's not falling all at one time. Again, add an inch or two here, 2 or 3 there, half inch there, inch here and there. And we just get these quick clipper rounds coming on through. But where temperatures are so cold, none of it's going to melt. We're going to keep that snow where it is and just add up on it over time and have some decent snow depth, I think, here in central Illinois. So that's what we've got in the snow potential. Let's talk a little bit real fast here, and let me start that graphic over. Let's talk a little bit about how the snow is going to impact our temperatures. Normally, when we have no snow, the sun comes out, you have the daytime, it heats the ground then heats the air. And what happens is you don't really have any heat loss here. When we add the snow on, this is actually going to help temperatures fall and fall even farther than we expect. And that means even lower wind chill values here. So we add some snow and we keep it going, and eventually we finish up with the snow. If we get a clear day or even a cloudy day, snow is reflective. It's shiny. If you're driving in the daytime in the sunlight, it's bright. That brightness reflects some of the heat and the energy from the sun away. So we don't get all of the efficient heating of the day when the snow is down. And then at nighttime, it also can make things cooler. Snow will really release heat into the atmosphere fairly quickly. And so if we can get a decent snowpack, and you combine that with an Arctic air mass, that just means it's going to be even colder out there as we get more, drop the clicker. There it is. We get more and more snow. We'll expect things to look even colder as we go on through. So it's very interesting to see this scenario when you get a lot of snow down, you get an Arctic air mass, those temperatures will look colder than expected across the region. We already do have a wind chill advisory for tonight into tomorrow morning until 11 a.m. for areas north of Interstate 70. That's because wind chill values will be between -10 as low as -30 in some spots, particularly further to the north here. We'll probably be showing the wind chill advisory or wind chill watch and warning graphics a lot more in the week to come here, even over the next 10 to 14 days. Why? Polar vortex. You might have heard about the polar vortex. If you've been following us on our weekly Sunday night show, we first talked about the polar vortex 3 weeks ago and how some changes were in the process that would eventually spill Arctic air this way. We really hit on it last week. Here we are now dealing with it. It's nothing that you should be worried about. It's not this dangerous, vortex tornado thing. Sometimes people hype it up. All it is a pool of cold air that is always at the poles of the Earth. There's one at the North Pole, there's one at the South Pole. And in the winter time, it can sometimes expand, maybe break apart a little bit and send these bouts of cold air in our direction. That's exactly what it's doing now. We're getting Arctic air from way up north that's sliding on through. In fact, we can trace this air mass that's coming our way It originates in Siberia, far northern Russia, the Arctic Circle. That's some cold, cold air, and that air has been chilling there, literally chilling there, since January. All of that cold air then is getting spilled over. We've got cross-polar flow that's pulling that air down into the United States, and it will be a cold couple of weeks for many in the lower 48 here as we move on forth. Normally, when we have a setup like this, you get a quick rush of Arctic air. And I'll be honest, I thought we'd get a quick rush of Arctic air and we'd kick it out. There's the problem. A blocking pattern settled on in here. And when you have a blocking pattern, your storm systems and your cold air has nowhere to escape to. So it sits there. It's kind of like, if you get a big blizzard, you're trapped in your house. You can't go anywhere. You're stuck there. This cold air is going to be stuck over the United States because of that blocking pattern that originated in Siberia. Bitter cold air, I tell you folks, coming on this way. We haven't seen a cold air mass like this, I think, since about 2013. Back then, I was here in 2013. I remember we had wind chill values of -25 to -40, and we had a snowpack down. Had some of these snow events before. It came on in and settled on in for about a week or so. This one may be a little longer than that, but about the same in strength and severity here. We're already going to get that first taste of it tonight. And what will happen is as the snow exits, temperatures will slowly be declining. If we get a clear sky and there's some snow on the ground, that heat disappears rapidly into the atmosphere. Temperatures drop quickly. We'll be down, I think, below zero in most spots tonight with those wind chill values somewhere between -15 and -30 by Sunday morning. It'll be cold out there. Best thing you want to do for Sunday morning if you wake up early, pour your cup of coffee. We'll be on at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning with our morning show. It's the big game morning show too. We got some extra special fun things. They're sticking me outside to experience this cold air as far as it goes. But those wind chill values are factored because north and west winds behind this little clipper picking up 15 to 25 miles an hour. Here's the 6 to 10 day outlook. This is issued by the Climate Prediction Center, and they do a great job, frankly. Not a great forecast, though. All of that cold air likely settling on in. We're talking about cold weather here for the next few days into the week ahead. As cold as tomorrow is going to be, it may be even colder Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of this upcoming week. So Friday and into next weekend, we may see even colder air settling in as another burst of Arctic air heads in our general direction. The 8 to 14 day outlook, the same. Odds are for cooler than normal temperatures. So we think it may be some time before we can get this Arctic air mass out of here and get some milder temperatures in here across the region. The thing to know about this is the wintertime, yes, we get cold air. This, though, a little more abnormal. Our average highs should be in the low to middle 30s. We've got a lot of single digits and teens for highs there, so very cold air. But February is usually the month when you get these big Arctic bursts that spill in. From growing up in Gibson City and remembering, it always seemed like late January, February was when we had the most Arctic air that would spill on in. That's exactly what's happening this year for us. Let's talk about future track. Here we are. Tomorrow morning, 6 a.m., feel like -20 in Champaign, -31 in Pontiac. Good grief. Watseka showing it at -37. We're at -12 in Mattoon and -6 in Effingham. This is not the actual air temperature. Of course, air temperatures will be in the single digits and below zero in central Illinois. That's important for ice, but the wind chill is what it feels like on your skin. And when we start seeing values -20, -30, exposed skin can freeze in 15 minutes or less. That's a factor with the wind. What would happen is if we took all of the wind out tomorrow morning, this is what the actual air temperature would feel like. But we factor in the wind and how it affects the human body, and that's why wind chill values are important. But if you've got a diesel truck, you might be thinking about getting the heater out on it tonight. The farmers are probably happy about this. In fact, I ran into a group of them from Ford and Champaign County earlier this week, and they want a big cold snap to help get rid of bugs in the spring and take care of it. So we got that taken care of, but for the rest of us, we're suffering. Here we go. Monday morning, still below zero in most spots as far as those wind chill values. We didn't really get above zero at all on Sunday. Monday afternoon, we get a little more mild. Feels like 10 in Champaign at 3 o'clock, but right back down into Tuesday morning, 7 a.m., more below zero and below teens on the board. How about Wednesday morning? Look at that. Still feeling like -9 in Champaign out the door. What about Thursday morning? Even worse, -13 in Champaign, -19 in Bloomington. Watch this. I told you about that burst of Arctic air sometime Friday, Saturday, and Sunday that guidance is picking up on. When that arrives, that will be even colder. Wind chill values. Friday morning at 8 a.m., minus 27 in Champaign, minus 31 in Bloomington. We've got minus 23 all the way down in Effingham as this Arctic air mass settles on in, and that will likely be the case as we go into Saturday and Sunday as well. We may wait Friday and have it come in on Saturday. It's coming, folks. You can count on that. And we may see some wind chill values if we can play all of the cards right, get enough snow on the ground, have the wind be high enough. Wind chill values of negative 30 to negative 40, not out of the question with this pattern settling on in. Here we go into Saturday at midnight, Saturday morning at midnight. We're running out. See this here? We're running out of colors to depict how cold it's going to be with this Arctic air mass rolling on through. When do we get above 32 again? When's spring coming back? I'm asking that question, probably some folks too. It looks like our first chance to get back above 32 at the earliest is going to be February 17th to February 19th. And that window there will break the pattern, get the Arctic air back where it belongs, and that might be the first chance based on guidance to get back up to 32. It may be further down the road from that, but I don't expect it to be any earlier than that here. That Arctic air locking in, which means cold and snowy, continues here, but again, not a big snow maker event. More of these quick clippers adding a couple of inches at a time here over the next 7 days and beyond. That's a lot. Some of you are sticking around for this. We appreciate it. It's going to be cold. It's going to be snowy. There's your 7-day forecast. There's your 14-day forecast in a nutshell. Bundle up and stay warm, frankly, as far as it goes with this cold air settling on in here in central Illinois. Just bitter cold air. Finally, some folks have been asking, hey, when's winter going to get here? Here it is. Hope you like it. You've been asking. That's what we got. All right. That's what I got. What I'm going to do is I'm going to check the comments and in the chat. If you've got a question or a comment or a snow report, I'm going all the way back to the beginning. And we're going to look at things, and then we'll wrap this Carnarvon wagon up and call it a night and be back again on 9 and 10 o'clock for the show. A lot of you that stick around, we appreciate you, and we thank you for trusting WCIA 3 weather team. Of course, Kevin, Amelia, Jack, and I, we always talk and have these forecast updates of what's going on, and we knew the snow was coming, 1 inch to 3 inches in some spots here. More spots getting the 1 to 2 range than the 2 to 3, but with these quick clipper systems and powdery snow, it's a little bit sometimes tricky to nail down exactly what it is. To give you an idea, normally a snowfall is a 10 to 1 ratio. For every 1 inch of water, you get 10 inches of snow. Today it's closer to a 20 to 1 ratio. For every inch of water, we're getting 20 inches of snow out of it. We're only talking a few hundredths of an inch of moisture in the atmosphere that would make the difference in a couple of inches here. So very sometimes tricky to nail these down. And when you get these bigger snow events, you want that higher ratio to be in place. Unfortunately, today's snow event was just a shorter duration. We had some good snowfall out there earlier. If you didn't get a chance to look out, about 6 and 7 o'clock, it was coming down pretty impressive here in Champaign. We kept that up for 5-6 hours, and we'd have some good, decent snow out there. But instead, Mother Nature giving us these quick clippers here in central Illinois. All right, you can see the chat scrolling on by. I'm going all the way to the top, though, for those of you sticking around. Here, a question from Paris. How bad will it get? Again, an inch or two of snow here and there today. Probably Paris is far enough south, less than an inch tomorrow. And then you get another 1 to 3 inches on Mondays around coming on through. You just kind of add it up slowly but surely here. This isn't a historic, end-of-the-world, 15,000-foot blizzard that's coming here. But we're adding the snow over time, which then, yes, can bring colder air on in, as we showed earlier. So that's what we're watching here pretty closely. Mattoon checking on in. David says it's snowing there pretty hard. Thanks for that. Milford checking in. Boy, Tracy, I feel like we've gotten a lot of snow reports from you in Milford, Iroquois County in particular. In fact, District 21 State Police up in Ashcombe, boy, did they get slammed this past week with all of the snow they've had up in that area there. What else? Priscilla is showing about a 1/4 inch of snow. I measured about 3/4 of an inch on my car when I left earlier. Powdery snow. Watseka, big old snowflakes coming down. That from Nancy. That's Julie, Woodland. Getting some snow in Iroquois County there. Danville is getting some snow. We've got Sean in Bloomington. Again, how much are we looking at? Tomorrow, Bloomington normal, north of I-72 gives us a chance for 1 to 2 inches, I think. south less. And then Monday, there's so many of these little quick clippers. It's like, what's coming when? Monday we'll get, I think, area-wide 1 to 3 inches. We may have to up that or fine-tune that just a little bit, but it seems like a good bet for most of us here in the area. Mattoon, snowing in Mattoon, but doesn't look like much, but the country is windy. Yes, that is why that winter weather advisory came out. It was for the visibility. There's still slick spots, though. In fact, my parking lot at my place, the ice was still there from the last event, and then we put the snow on top. I almost wiped out earlier. Monticello checking in about 3/4 of an inch from Cynthia. Thank you for that. Getting a little bit of snow in Gilman. Milford, thermometer, there's Tracy Lynn again, 10 degrees. Hoopston, checking in, has about an inch with blowing snow and visibility sucks. It really does, yeah. That's very typical as far as it goes. Here we go. Winter has officially been fired. Bring back the warmer weather. At least it's not me that's getting fired for the cold air. They can't take me out for the cold weather. Can't take me out if I'm wrong either, so that's great. No. We expect this snow, and we expect this cold air to stick around. Kathy, a good tip on the cold weather, keep the faucets dripping. Yes, that's very important if you have issues with frozen pipes. With these temperatures that we're seeing at night below 0 during the daytime in the single digits, you keep that faucet on a slow drip. That's going to help those pipes continue to move and not freeze, and that's what we want there. Other concerns for pets outdoors, bring your pets inside. Put them in the garage. I'll tell you what, Mama Dickey and Mom and Dad are planning to take the chickens, the Dickey chicks, if you follow my Facebook page. They're going to take them inside for the next week or so into the garage just to keep them warm. That's how cold it's going to be. If it's cold for you, it's cold for your pet, make sure you bring them indoors. Yes, there it is. Arlene said that too right before. Thank you, Arlene, for that reminder. Jake Johnson's got some snow in eastern Coles County. Rick saying this sounds dangerous. The cold air will be at times potentially dangerous here in central Illinois, especially when you get down to you get down to 0 to -15. If you're outside for a long period, it's going to get cold. Your skin can freeze in 30 minutes, maybe more than that. You get down to -15 to -25, even -30. Your skin can start freezing in 15 minutes, even 10 minutes. And beyond -30, then it's not a matter of how many minutes, it's a matter of how long you stick it outside. 5 minutes in -35 to 45 degree wind chills can cause frostbite on your skin. That's a concern. So that's what we got. Another thing from Maryland, bring animals in. Tennessee saying, I'm not going anywhere. For those of you that are still here, I normally get Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off. Well, I get Sunday night off because of the big bowl game. The A team is going to be here. Kevin, Jennifer Roscoe, and Paul, I believe. So I get the night off. Well, I'm driving south until it's warm. That's what I'm doing. I'm going south and getting out of this cold air. I'll be back on Friday, though. So that's what we got. Brian asking, how much of a problem will blowing snow be for us this week? That will be a concern with these powdery snow events here. We get the wind, you get snow falling. That is essentially a recipe for blowing snow. The good news is we're not expecting 6 to 12 inches of snow all in one event. But we get an inch or two here, an inch or two there, and you have blowing snow continuing with that powdery snow. That will cause some problems out there. We won't be near blizzard criteria. Blizzard criteria usually is you got 35-mile-an-hour winds and at least 3 inches of snow. We'll never, I don't think, be close to that, but we'll have to watch it, keep our eyes on that moving forth. But yes, winter weather advisory covers the blowing snow and reduced visibility, much like we're seeing out there right now. Shannon, it's going to be a great start to my workday with this cold air. You right. Yeah. Emily is saying, I hope it is okay to kill the bugs, maybe. Yeah, we do need this cold snap, but we'd take it for 2 days and then be fine. That would do the job, but boy, it's going. Ruth asking, so where is it hot? South Florida? And even South Florida might not be hot. They might be like lukewarm at best. I think this cold air eventually is going to really push south quickly across parts of central Illinois. And when it does so, it's going to eventually make it further and further south. I've probably got some friends in Mississippi that are Watching from my personal page here, this is shared across a number of pages. Eventually it's going to make it that far south. It won't be this cold. We'll modify the air mass a little bit. But still, cold air will make it all the way down to the Gulf Coast with this type of event. There's really not many places you can go in the lower 48 to escape. Maybe South California, far South Florida, as far as it goes. Spring and summer for fishing. Bryson, you and I both, except for instead of fishing, I want storms. I love severe weather. That's my where my research is. You get thunderstorms. That's where my cup of tea is. I'm tired of this cold. It's terrible. Bismarck reporting an inch. How will it be on Valentine's Day? When is Valentine's Day? I don't keep track of Valentine's Day for no reason. Isn't it the 14th or something like that? Let's see. I gotta look it up, because honestly, I have no idea. Sunday the 14th, there it is. Yeah, Valentine's Day is gonna be cold. In fact, that's gonna be when that really cold burst of air hits on in, Amy. So if you got your special someone, you probably wanna just stay in for that. Whatnot. We got half to 3/4 of an inch in Shelbyville. Thank you, Stephen, for that. Osmond reporting an inch. Mattoon getting an inch of snow. Yeah, Polly saying, love that you gave us early warning of what to come, but hate that you had to tell us. I know, it's my least favorite part of my job. My approval rating is going down, down, down this week. But at least giving you that heads up. We gave you the heads up originally last Sunday. We said, get ready, it's coming. And we were aware of the pattern changes that might bring this 2 and 3 weeks ago. As hey, there's some movement happening. This may be what pans out late January, early February. It delayed a little bit, but by pattern recognition, we were able to give some folks, saying, hey, 2 to 3 weeks out, cold is coming. We're not exactly sure when, but it's coming. And here we are getting it as far as it goes. Savoy, how much snow are we getting? Tonight should be 1 to 2. Tomorrow should be maybe around an inch. If that, we'll see what plays out, and then you get another 1 to 2, maybe 3 with the routed Mondays. So there's not really, a big range of like 6 to 12, but you get these short little bursts of snow that can drop a quick ½ inch and an inch at a time, and we're going to keep that not only through Monday, but then Tuesday night, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then I think even Saturday and Sunday, maybe another quick clipper rolling on through. When you get these Arctic air masses, what happens is any moisture that's there will really get squeezed out, and you get these at least flurries, if not some light snow showers. And if you get enough energy in the atmosphere rolling by, much like this little clipper system, then you can get an inch or two. And that's how it works out there as far as it goes. The interesting thing, too, a little more of a nerdy, down the woods thought, I guess. Normally, your snow growth region, where snow is generated in the atmosphere, somewhere 3, 4, 5 kilometers high. And it falls through to the ground and makes it down. And as it falls below the snow growth the region, 3, 4, 5 kilometers up, or a couple of miles up, then it starts to accumulate a little more moisture, and you get a wetter snow, much like we had the last snow here. We had, what was it? A couple inches came on through of a heavy wet snow. This round, the snow growth region is 5 to 7,000 feet above the earth. It's not that far up there. In fact, some places it's closer to 3,000 feet. So you only have a 3,000 to 5,000 foot distance for the snow to fall, and it's a much more powdery snow. There's not as much moisture that can accumulate on there. So you have a higher snow ratio, 20 to 1, 20 inches of snow for every inch of moisture, than a traditional 10 to 1 here. That's that powdery snow that can blow around. If you're looking for snow cream, snowmen, other snow fun, castles, forts, whatever, this isn't your type of event for that. But the snow will be more powdery and fine, which can cause some issues with travel and visibility, much like we're seeing with this initial round. Rolling on through, Lafayette, Indiana, getting some snow checking on, and thanks for that, Becky. Ooh, good one. Tess has coat and mittens for our Yorkie. I think Mama Dickey tried to buy something for the chickens, but I was like, don't do it. Just take them inside. But that's good, especially if you're getting out. And then Tess is asking also about 3 blocks from school. Yeah, just bundle up. Make sure you've got gloves, hats, if they're coming home. Most of the time in the afternoon, those wind chill values will rebound some. Won't be nearly as cold. It's the mornings that will be worse. So if you can take them to school in the car, you'll be fine that way. Start the car early, perhaps. But the afternoons, then we see those wind chill values not as cold. They'll still be cold, but less dangerous. It seems like most part in the mornings is when we have concerns. Now Friday, if we play that out, Friday may be the day where we stay very bitter cold, dangerously cold all day long, even into Saturday and Sunday. So we'll see what happens. I want to say it was maybe late 2000s. I was in high school, GCMS high school, and I think we had a cold day. We had a little snow, yes, but it was the wind chill values. They're like, don't come to school. And I think that's right. I'll have to look that up and remember. So that may be a case of some of these schools, or they do the virtual learning days. Just check with your school district and keep your eyes on it. Very little in Gibson. Peter checking in. Thanks for that, Peter. One day closer to warmer weather. Yeah. Alexa, how many days until spring? Oh, I turned it off. Shoot. We're going to ask Alexa. Alexa, how many days until spring?
Spring will start in 42 days on Saturday, March 2020.
42 days, according to Alexa, till spring. How about that? If you didn't know, by the way, you can get, if you have an Alexa, Amazon Alexa, you can actually get the WCIA 3 app, and we have weather updates that come there. We update it twice a day, so you can get your forecast from that. That's pretty cool as far as it goes. Why can't we have one big snow and be done with it? Because that's not job security for me, Brian. We're going to have these little snow events to keep me busy. That's the way it works. I wish we had one big snow event was done too, I'll be honest, but instead of a big snow event, we're getting a big Arctic air event here in central Illinois. So, oh, Becky says her Alexa heard you and answered the question. Great. Maybe some of you have Google at home. Okay, Google, when is it spring? Somebody might hear it. I don't know. What else? My phone just went off. Beeped over there. What else is there? Alexa, Google, Siri. I could ask Siri, but we only have an Alexa app for weather as far as it goes. All right, there's a lot of you on. If you're coming in late, that's totally fine. We talked about the snow moving through. Then we covered the cold air that's expected. Really bitter cold air is on the way here. The mornings will be worse than the afternoons through the week ahead. Tomorrow morning will probably be the worst in central Illinois. We'll moderate a little bit, but still see below zero wind chills each morning all the way into the weekend. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday of next weekend has the potential to be the coldest yet we see. This likely is an extended outbreak of Arctic air, 10 to 14 days before we can get some milder air back on in. We'll stay cold and see these rounds of snow continued on through. And that's what we'll expect here across central Illinois. We're going to sign this thing out. Thanks for joining. Of course, we thank you for trusting us and following us on WCIA 3 Weather. I have updates for you coming up at 9 o'clock on WCIX and at 10 o'clock on WCIA with the latest on the snow exiting, temperatures falling tonight. If you catch the forecast as well, you can do so on WCIA.com and on the WCIA 3 Weather app. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later.